Hey, everybody. It's day 977. Thank you very much for joining me today. 977 days ago, my boyfriend and I were like, let's just try this. We've tried to lose weight our entire adult lives. Back then, we only had Manjaro, but I'm getting close to 1,000 days. And if you're familiar with me and my videos, thank you for being here and for being part of the major part of my success. For a lot of you, the whole reason we have our website is because you stayed with me the last year on Patreon. That was great. If you are new, welcome, welcome. We're here doing it together, whether you're considering the drug, on the drug, at maintenance. Today, I want to talk to you about why I think maintenance has gone so smoothly for me. And I just got back from a mission trip, and I can't wait to tell you about just the difference between what it means to be at goal weight, just on trips in life in general, compared to, you know, a large portion of a lot of our lives, we were obese. And it's so exciting to be on the other side. But let me just, and I also, some of you have brought up a special drug that's coming along. So I did a little research and I can't wait to talk to you about that upcoming drug as well and how it's looking through all the FDA, phases and trials. Okay, this is week 139. A lot of us reached goal weight around the same time. And it was a couple years ago in the summer. And one of my friends here in our community, one of my friends was like, okay, now we've been counting calories we've lost. Let's see if we can maintain it for 1 month. Like the real big deal is going to be, can we maintain it for a year? And so at 1 month, we were all like, throw a party, 2 months, 3 months. So for me to say it's week 139, that is not lost on me. How fantastic. What an accomplishment. And so many of you, we're just doing it together, and hooray for you. There's one of you that I want to call out at the end of this video because I'm just so impressed with your attitude and determination. So John took us down to Dollywood. I'd heard of it, never really thought about going, but we've had a lot on our plates. And so John threw together a surprise trip for me. My Eagle Scout gave me a 2-page packing list that included a warm jacket and a bathing suit. I'm like, John, I literally have no idea where you're taking me. Where are we going to go? Well, we ended up going down to the Gatlinburg area, and I was born and raised in Houston. So going, to the Smoky Mountains, that was a big deal. And we had a wonderful time. But just going to a theme park, I'm going to go find a picture. I'm going to show it to you here. But going to a theme park in a right size body, and can I just say skinny girl? Is it okay just to use that language? I feel like technically it's true, but it can have some kind of negative connotations. Sorry, bring her off. But yeah, the skinny girl compared to the obese, overweight, I got to wear an outfit that I would have wanted to wear to a theme park. And I didn't get to wear those outfits for the last 30 years. And it's emotional. It's emotional. I think the emotions are some happy and some sad. You know me, I want to focus on the positive. But if I'm going to be completely honest, I think some of this emotion is about the sadness of that girl. She had a dream and she could not figure out how to reach it. And she tried so hard for so long. We've talked about the types of diets and eating plans and goals we put in place. I mean, we had this never ending list. And if you are on the program, I was probably on it too. What would we have not tried to get that weight off and to not be carrying around, for some of us, 70 extra pounds of fat. Some of you might have wanted to lose 30 or 40. I know others of you, my good friends, have lost over 100. So go us for just not having all that weight to carry around every day, which is exciting. That had to have been a little rough, on our legs, on our ankles. That's a heavy backpack. And to be able to go to the theme park and just, even in the roller coaster rides, you have no issues just sitting in the seats. You have no issues with the bar coming down. You can feel like you want to look in the pictures, not like you dream of looking wait, this is actually me right now. You don't sweat as much because you don't have on this like, it's like an entire fur coat when you're carrying around an extra 70 pounds, especially if it's in the summer under the sun. So I just couldn't wait to tell you about that. And now I want to give you a quick little rundown of a particular drug that's been brought up to me. And I'm sure there's a perfect way to say amycretin, but since it has Amy in it, I call it amycretin, but you know, it's Amycretin. And the most up-to-date information is, some of you have heard of this. It's put out by Novo Nordisk. It's for people who are overweight, obese, also potential treatment for those with type 2 diabetes. So this is unimolecular, okay? It's along with an acting GLP-1 and this amylin receptor agonist. So it has two hormones in a single molecule. And the idea is it regulates your appetite. And I want to talk to you in a little bit about why I think tirzepatide is keeping me on the straight and narrow, and that's very exciting too. But really quick, they're looking to develop it both in an injectable and an oral pill. I have very close friends. I think psychologically they're waiting for the pill. I had not had a shot before I did Mounjaro and now Zepbound. So I'm like, go for it. It's worth it. But there are people who are waiting for the pill. That's the only way they're going to feel comfortable. And so I'm excited to say that it's going to come in those two forms. So this is how promising it's been. Average weight loss, average, including like those who did a little worse and a little better, 24.3%. That's in 36 weeks. Whew, man, that's awesome. That is some life-changing medicine in the pure definition of the word. And that was at the highest dose, which this highest dose for this, they're calling it 60 milligram. So let me skip on down and talk about how like the safety and tolerability has been the same as other drugs that are similar to it. And in the early trials, it did not show any of those plateau issues that I know a lot of us talked about with tirzepatide and semaglutide, like no signs of weight loss plateauing. Isn't that what happens though? Don't we just make improvements in life with any product? A lot of us have been there since some of the early days of tirzepatide. Tirzepatide was only out for maybe 6 months when I started. And so with everything just comes improvements. And I love hearing about the continued improvement with these meds. And last, they're on like phase 3 as far as the like this program that they have. And they are looking in the first quarter of 2026 to move along to the next phase of trials and assessments. And now they're focusing more on like the long-term outcomes. But the fact they've made it this far, you know how many back to the drawing board after phase 1 and 2, because everything is developmental and this is experimental. And this is exactly what happened, you know, with Zepbound. You know, you don't all of a sudden just know for sure we're at the 2.5, 5, 7.5, like all that has to go through trials to find like that sweet spot. I cannot imagine all the work that goes scientifically into making this happen. It is exciting. But if it has a successful phase 3, they're looking for approval in the fourth quarter of 2030, which that's going to be here before we know it. I mean, we've been talking about this for the last 3 years. And they're already thinking about the European Union. It'll be around at the very beginning of 2031. So that's exciting because the results are just looking so favorable. And I'm loving hearing about the side effects and just about the quality of these drugs. Okay, Jamaica. So I went there. It is my 17th trip. 17th trip. I've gone every summer teaching the kids. It's fantastic. But how you look and feel at the beach when you have reached your goal weight is something that you can't talk about. You can just be with others who have been there and you're all like you just can't wipe the grin off your face because you really are living out your dream. You really are living out your dream. And it's hard to come to terms with. I'm over 2 years in and it has not gotten an ounce less exciting than when I was there at the beach. When I was flying, fitting in the aisle, you know, there's people like trying to put their stuff up in the compartment above and trying to do some things. And most of the time you're kind of standing back because the aisles are already kind of slim. Like somebody had like their leg out in the aisle and Amy was still like just going around them. I was the other weight for so long that you see these areas and you just want to have a few little fireworks go off when your hips can fit between that. And just keep working at it, y'all. Keep working at it. And if you are at maintenance or you've lost weight and there's things that you can do now, we call them non-scale victories in SV. Throw some of those in the comments. We would love to hear your non-scale victories. Speaking of, my clothes do not take up much space in my suitcase. And I was really thinking about it once I got over there because I was there for 11 days. So you gotta pack pretty well. And this is not like you're going over when there's moderate temps or in the winter where you can kind of reuse some clothes. This is the land of two suns because it's so hot it feels like a double sun on you. Like you're not gonna rewear anything. In fact, you're gonna want to put it in like a closed up bag when you're done with it. Like, oh, you have sweat in so many different ways all day long. And it's really those little things. The little things are the big things. Have you ever noticed that in life? That what can stop me in my tracks? Just the amount of room my clothes take up now. And it is quite a difference in how it used to be. Okay, so I put on here that in Jamaica, we typically pile in 6 or 7 people more than the van will hold because they don't have vehicles and they take taxis. So for us to give them a ride to church and stuff, we go around, we pick people up, and you're just going to have more people than you have room for. So there's a seat for 2 people. And I got in the habit of sitting in the middle and then moving myself up at an angle. And you've got the next seat like right here, but you kind of get your knees in there. And then it creates another little seat here beside you. What percentage of my life do you think that I would have taken up less than a person's seat? I took up more than a person's seat. This has only been my 3rd trip at goal weight. 2 summers ago, last summer, and then now. So for the vast majority of these visits, I took a more than a person's seat. And I just couldn't wait to share with you. I was in a seat for 2 people, and we had enough room for a 3rd person to be added. And thanks for letting me share just some personal things with you. And just know that we're here for you for all those times when you kind of want to throw a little confetti your way. Yeah, throw all your happiness down in the comments so we can celebrate with you as well. Last, I just want to say go Zepbound because I really did not expect to have this much smoothness and in a groove at maintenance. The first 6 or 8 months, it was tricky. I would get out of control. I gained 18 pounds once. I had to move up to the 7.5 and then move back down to the 5.0. That happened twice, but here I've been for the better part of, a year or more, and I just don't really have to think about it. And before I shot this video, I added this because it was so strong in my heart. I feel like this drug does something so special. Not only does it give you your life back because you're not always thinking about food and the food chatter, which if you know, you know, but it also I just feel like my body processes food so well. I don't eat perfect every day. I mean, I have really enjoyed my chicken, my onions, my peppers, my sauteed. I've had a really good, healthy week, especially coming back from Jamaica, where you're just going to go out with the crowd. Whatever they want is where we're going to go. I'm on a team, so I'm going to go where the driver goes. So I needed to come back and I needed more vegetables. But my body, so I'm not saying I eat perfect. And even here, I let myself splurge sometimes, which is way different than how it used to be for me. But number one, I do make sure that, hey, you just had a splurge yesterday. No, you're good. I make sure that I have that really good balance. And I make sure that I include a lot of vegetables, a lot of healthy proteins and stuff. But I just want to say that, on the other side of the coin, it's like my body wants to be where it is. It wants to be at 150. It wants to be here. If I eat a little more or a little less, it's already gotten so accustomed to this weight. And I thank Zepbound for that. I feel like my body does very well with foods. And before, if I had had one bad meal, it'd have been like, psh, well, here we go. We're out of control now. And it really would affect the scale. Even a short time of eating wrong would affect the scale. And I've been doing this for 30 years. So you know your body. You sit on the scale. You have a memory. You know how your body dealt with things. It just deals with things so much more effectively and efficiently. And that's just fantastic. Okay, so I want to shout out to my friend Edie. My friend Edie, who has been with me on Patreon for well over a year, and we have a group of special people there. But today, I want to thank Edie for being at Goal Weight, for talking about things that are vulnerable. Like, she wouldn't mind if I told you that, you know, we've talked about this quite a bit on this channel, that it's really fun through the weight loss stage because it's data driven. Like, you can mark it on a chart. Like, it's really exciting to see the graph of the weight loss. And it's so motivational because it's like a win, a win. And then you get to maintenance. And for a lot of people, it's like straight line. But for years, weight loss was the success. And now you don't really need to be any thinner. You don't need to have that goal. So you got to find a way to motivate yourself and stay exciting like this, you know? And that's been tricky. And just talking about life and things with a friend who's been there and who gets it, I just want to say thank you, Edie. It's always a pleasure having a cheerleader in your corner, and you just always have a smile on your face. So, okay, what are we on now? Day 977. That's been our video for day 977. If there is a topic that you would like for me to talk about or that would be helpful for you, please throw it down in the comments. And until our next video, I hope you have a great rest of your day.